This will be the long-awaited video of the ownership of both of these vehicles over the last few months and what we've learned, what we've come to find. And I've heard all of the different terminology. Toyota fanboy, General Motors hater, yeah, all kinds of crap. Listen, bottom line is, I don't care whether it's Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Mercedes, BMW, whatever it is. Give me a quality vehicle that doesn't have some of the problems that are habitually plaguing everybody, and give me something that's reliable that I can get out to the desert, not get broke down and have to call a tow truck. It's not asking for too much. As you can see from just a small blip of some of the vehicles that we've owned in the past, this is just some of the trucks. I mean, not even all of them are up there. This group of vehicles here that you're looking at, we all took them to the desert, had a great time, had a little video on the likes and dislikes of each one of these. The Raptor I thought was going to be the runaway, but it turned out that the Raptor wasn't actually. The accolades really goes to the Chevy the Chevy Colorado ZR2. Now, the white one that you saw in that little clip, that was phenomenal. And let me just show you what replaced it. That thing, which is the replacement for the white one, it's been great. It's been bulletproof. I really don't have any complaints. Now, back to these. Let's talk about these. We're really not talking about the Colorado ZR2. The Colorado ZR2 has been great. I really don't have any problems with that. I really don't have anything negative to say about it. But the Silverado, you guys all seen some of the videos on what happened with the white one. Since the flash on the dashboard for the blue one, I really wish that a lot of this stuff would have came that way, because had we had the flash on the dashboard, that would have really, I think, eliminated a lot of the problems that we were having. So let's just talk about some of the things that we've discovered since the ownership of this thing. The interior on the Silverado, they missed the mark. We already talked about this a little bit, but they missed the mark on a few things. You know, they could have really made this special, and it really would have been small items for cost-wise. I mean, you could have just done something with the headrest, any kind of, you know, emblazonment to put the ZR2 in there, just to set it off a little bit more than just this pinstriping yellow. Something else would have been really nice. I'm not a real big fan of the digital shifter. Yeah, I know this thing's dirty, but it gets used every day. You know, there's a few things that are kind of a disappointment. Granted, the shutoff that we have for the cylinder deactivation, I'm sorry, I can't remember all this terminology. The deactivation is really a pain in the ass. What I find is I drive in tow mode, I put the vehicle in manual, and I put it for around town. I either drive in fifth, I leave the shifter in 5 or 7. That way it doesn't take it into overdrive and it doesn't deactivate the cylinders, and you don't get that gurgling, bubbly effect when you're driving it, so that the truck doesn't sound really stupid. It also gives you a little bit better takeoff, obviously, off the line, which is something that we're going to talk about on that Toyota. So, yeah, because the Toyota is really, there's a dead pedal feel when it launches, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But anyway, you know, that's the one thing that Chevy should have done. Now, the one thing that Chevy did get right, let me tell you, the suspension, the Multimatics on this thing, phenomenal. It is really a great suspension system. But where they missed it, it makes it a little bit floaty. And forgive me for the shadows here, guys. This is kind of a last minute thing. The one thing that I did notice between the two on the suspension systems, the Multimatic, if you have a washboard type roadway and you have a lot of fine-tuned, this is a desert runner. This is really what I think, the way that this thing was set up. This is a desert runner. And if you have a washboard type terrain or road, which one would I rather have? For sure, it's going to be the ZR2. The ZR2 would eat this stuff up all day long, and you probably wouldn't even, you know, spill your coffee. On the Toyota, it's a stiffer ride. You're gonna feel every one of those little bumps. Now, I made the mistake a long time ago here on, you probably, I don't know if you guys remember, those of you that are with my channel, but on the TRD Pro Tacoma, I removed the Fox shocks on that thing and we put the Kings on there, and that was a big mistake. The Fox shocks just are so superior when it came to that setup. The Kings rode like a board in the ass, and they look great, and it's fine if it's just going to be a mall crawler, but damn, when you're talking about using it for off-road use and whatnot, it was horrible. Now, I'm not going to get into all the small things that we've addressed already on this. Well, yeah, I'll talk a little bit. You know, the hood issue, I'm not even sure. Yeah, you can still see. Can I get that? You know, the hood, they've got a little spacer that they made for the 23 lineup, and if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see that where they fixed it. Can I focus on that? I'm trying to focus in on that, but if you can see that, they addressed it in the at the auto show, but then they left it alone and they didn't address it in the upcoming new Colorado that's coming with the Desert Bus. But I don't know. And again, we're not bashing on General Motors. I really wanted to love these trucks, and they were so close. They were so close to making this thing worth the 8-month wait that we had on these. But unfortunately, they missed the mark. So what happened? We ordered a T-Rex. We also had ordered this. This came in before the T-Rex. Got this thing, and needless to say, you guys have seen all the videos on this thing. What have I thought about it? I mean, at 286 miles, I had a battery failure. Okay, yeah, well, shit happens, right? This is gonna be, it's a vehicle. Things are gonna happen. Not nearly as many problems that I had with the ZR2, however, or ZR2s. However, the build quality on this has been excellent. I really can't complain too much about that. Now, the one thing that I was trying to avoid was putting all these extras on it, and I really wanted to just take it off the lot and, you know, kind of ZR2 it, where you don't have to go and put a lot of money into it. But unfortunately, the way that the Toyotas arrive, they're just, I don't even know how to politically not go there, but we had to really man this thing up. So we had to change the tires. Those of you that were asking over and over and over again, the 295, we put the 295s on here, got rid of the little donuts. We put the 295s on there without the Westcott. This is when we just put the tires on there, left the mud flaps on, nothing hit. They do not hit going 295 70/18s. This is with the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. I really like, I've had good luck in the past. The Nittos just seem to work out really good for me. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we've done with this truck, and a few things that I like, don't like, whatever. Everybody's got their opinions. Remember, you know, don't kill the messenger here. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. So the one thing that I had to do was I had to, you know, I went and got a hold of, what the heck is that place called? I forgot. I'll remember it by the end of the video probably. So we had to go and order these stencils. I got the carbon fiber there just to give it a little bit different pop. Matter of fact, I ended up getting that in the door guards down there. Yeah, you can customize them. And then also over there, we had that stencil in there. Yeah, I think they're called, Tough Skins, I think is what it was. I mean, I've had good luck with them in the past. No, I'm not endorsed by them or anything. They've just been really good in the past. Make good quality stuff. So we put those in there, been real happy about it. The one thing that I didn't like was the fact that, listen, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm not an old man, but one thing that I didn't like, oh yeah, we'll talk about why I have my bed mat flipped up. So one thing that I didn't like was jumping up and down into this tailgate or into the bed of this truck. It was kind of a pain. So I did order the bed step. It took forever. It just came in. It took, what, 4 months for that thing to come in? It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Maybe Maybe it's because of the war, who knows. But anyway, you got to have that, because that's the one thing that Toyota really missed the mark on, is especially when you put the Westcott lift on here and you bring it up a little bit, it's not exactly easy to jump in and out of this, especially if you're kind of guy that washes your own vehicle, and if you're doing it yourself, having that stupid wand or hose or brush in your hand and you're trying to be hurriesome and you're jumping into this thing with sandals on and it's wet, yeah, that's gonna kind of sucks. But anyway, for whatever it's worth, got to get that, guys. You really need that. The reason that this mat is flipped up, one of the things that I noticed was when we were driving with the rear window down, I was getting this weird funky ass noise back here, and I could not isolate it. And when I flip this mat back here forward, it seems to eliminate or alleviate that weird noise. And I think the mat is just buffering just enough that it's making this weird sound. Now, build quality on this, here's something else that I noticed. You can see how that weird line, I never really looked at some of the other TRD Pros. I'm gonna have to take a look and see if everybody else has got that weird bow to it. But when you go and you push on it, it doesn't affect anything else. The rails are all the same, but I saw that the other day and I got, it's kind of strange. Anyway, interior wise, I think this is really great. It's got a good spot for you to install your nitrous bottles. But the one thing that you noticed that I noticed, the rock sliders, I wanted to get the rock sliders on the Tundra. However, the one thing that I was finding, I was doing it myself, and my passengers were doing the same thing. When you go to get in here, you're using this as a step, right? So you're putting your foot up there, and what are you doing? You're stepping on that, and then you're also kicking the side of your paint. And guys and gals jumping in there with boots or whatever, it's gonna mess it up. So I decided I'm not gonna do that. I went with the old Predator steps. Again, they were tried and true. They worked out fine before. So I just went back to the old Predator. I think it's kind of silly that Amp Research and Toyota do not make an automated step for the TRD Pro Tundra. It's probably because of the short body. I don't know, for whatever reason. And if those of you that have said that you've got it to work, or you ordered something and let me know in the comments, because I have not. I even talked to Amp Research and they said that they do not make a step for the Tundra TRD Pro for the automated steps, which is kind of silly. Now, we were talking about the takeoff on this vehicle. The Tundra, I drive around in eco mode, but it does not matter whether you're driving in eco mode, whether you're driving in sport mode. When you're at a stoplight and the vehicle, it shuts off and you go to take off, you have a slight delay. I hate the hesitation that the Toyota has when you go to take off. You get that delay. You don't get that in a 6.2. In a 6.2, you hammer it, you go. I wish that they would have given us a supercharged option for that ZR2, because that would have been really kind of cool. However, the Tundra it's been great. You know, call me a Toyota fanboy, whatever, but I just like the fact that this truck has been pretty reliable. I did put the Westcott lift on it, as you can see. I haven't had any issues with it. I was wondering if I was going to get any of the creaks that you get sometimes when you put a puck on this thing, and I haven't found any problems with it, knock on wood. I probably just jinxed myself. The one thing that I would suggest is that you guys get these protectors in here from Tuscans, because it does save your paint when you're getting in and out. It never fails. You're always kicking that edge when you're wearing boots. So make sure that you do that. I highly recommend it. What was the other thing that I was going to talk to you guys about briefly? So the one thing that I was talking about was the hesitation on takeoff. It doesn't matter whether you're in whatever mode, you'll always have that dead pedal feel. I drive two-footed, so what I will do if it's really annoying is I will just leave it up on the RPMs and let the powertrain wind itself up a little bit and just release and go like a jackrabbit if it's really that bad where I can't stand it. I've gotten used to it, but it is kind of a pain. We also did a little video on the air filters. Yes, we put those TRD air filters in here to see if there's going to be any kind of a difference. I know that there was one gentleman that commented on that video that, of course, with all the augmented fake sound that comes in here, you're not going to notice any kind of sound difference because of the augmented, which is, respectfully, I disagree. Because we did the same thing. We installed the Whipple intake on the Raptor, and as you all know, the Raptor has augmented exhaust notes pumped in also. But I'll tell you, once we replaced that Whipple and we put that intake in there, it was night and day difference. There was no mistaking that you had the Whipple intake in that thing. And I was kind of hoping to have that same kind of results on the TRD, but for whatever reason, you can't hear a difference at all. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. I'm sure I'm going to forget something here in a minute. But in a nutshell, well, the other thing is that we talked about the T-Rex. The T-Rex is finally getting a build date. I just got a notification that I do have the expected build date on it, but I'm kind of torn at the moment because for the cost of that T-Rex, I'm leaning to just cancel it and just saying forget it, because the Tundra's been more than adequate for what I need and what I've been using it for. So I think just especially the way that the economy is going right now, who knows what we're going to be facing here shortly in this coming year. So I'm thinking that I may just stay with the Tundra and ride it out because I'm enjoying it. Other than the one little battery issue that we had, I really haven't had any problems. Matter of fact, this last tank, I'll show you a little, you can see right here, the last tank of fuel I've been averaging about 12.1 miles to the gallon, which is contradictory to the plates, but it's been good, surprisingly. 12.1 probably is not what everybody's saying, wow, but let me tell you, the way I drive and the way things are over here, getting 12.1 in this vehicle, I'm happy with it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. I do appreciate it. I read, at least I try to read every single one of them. And I try to respond to everybody when I have time. I apologize for being such a delay in getting this out. However, this has kind of been in the making here. I wanted to get this out and let you guys all know. Like I said, I'm not a GM hater. I'm not a Toyota fanboy. We just want to have vehicles that, are going to be reliable, and we tell it like it is. I know that I'm sure I butt hurt a lot of people that are diehard Chevy fans, and it is what it is. Believe me, we wanted this ZR2 to be the cat's meow, and unfortunately, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. They really missed the mark. Chevy could have done so much more. Now, on the other hand, if you really want a vehicle that we haven't had any problems with, I'm telling you guys, the Chevy Colorado ZR2 is really a great bang for the buck. We haven't had any issues really with that thing, and I think it looks good. That thing, for what you pay for it, has been fantastic. It really has. It's been fantastic. No complaints. The truck is just, it works. Suspension's fantastic, and we're real happy with it. But again, we're not talking about that truck. We're talking about those. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll have some new news for you here soon on some new stuff that we've done. Apologize for the noise. Apparently the fire trucks are swinging by. Anyway, we'll see you all on the next video.